Molly coming to you on March 21st, 2020, in day, 2, 3, 5 of self-quarantine for many of you. And a lot of you have been reporting headaches. So I'm going to give you a few exercises you can do at home for that. One thing I want you to keep in mind for these first few is to actually ground down through your feet. It might not be something you're thinking about when you have headaches, but in fact, if you've got a lot of energy and tension up here, it's helpful to feel your feet and feel support beneath you. So here's me with kind of just lazy feet, and here's me pressing my feet on the floor. You see my toes spread out. I'm feeling through all four corners of each foot, and I'm also breathing while I'm doing the following exercises. So the first one, you might not always realize it, but often a lot of our tension comes from this muscle here that runs from behind the ear down to the sternum and the clavicle, called the Scm Sternocleidomastoid. And one of the best ways to work on that muscle yourself is just to turn your head a little bit and grab it. Grab it with your fingers, kind of like a pincher claw, just thumb and the rest of your fingers just grabbing around it. You can go all the way down to the bone and then back up behind your ear. You're going to find sore spots. When you find a sore spot, like I have one right here, you can kind of narrow in on that, kind of even take some of the fingers away so you can be more specific, and just hold, breathe, ground down through the feet. All right, so that's one, SCM. Number two, we're going to go into the jaw. So a lot of tension in the jaw can often radiate and up into the head, and also actually have to do with shoulder and upper body tension. And so we're going to focus on this muscle, the masseter. This is a big chewing muscle and a big clenching muscle. So it runs from this cheekbone, right at the bottom of your cheekbone, down to the base of your jaw. And one of the ways you can work it is start with your 3 middle fingers at the base of your jaw and be moving up to the cheekbone. And then feel like, ooh, right on the cheekbone, you can kind of slide forward towards the nose. Find those sore spots, and you can move down and actually open your jaw slowly as you move down. And you might find some different spots going in different directions. So just kind of play with that. You can do finger circles, you can do straight up and down. So that is masseter. Number 3, scalp. So you got tension, headaches, probably some of that tension might start from somewhere else, but ultimately you're feeling tension probably somewhere in your scalp. So you can simply take all your fingers like this and just kind of slowly move through with a decent amount of pressure, and you're going to probably find ridges a lot of times right behind the ears or right above the ears. You'll find like ridgy spots. I've worked with some of my clients on these, and they'll be really surprised to find those tender ridges. And it's what you're really feeling for is almost like you're moving the skin independent of the skull. So that's another thing that you can do. You can do that anywhere in your head. You can do that on the forehead as well. Number 3, I'm going to show you, a lot of times you'll feel the tension coming from the occipital muscles, which is at the base of your skull, where your neck meets your skull. It's right underneath this bottom of your skull bone right here. A lot of times it's where people will feel it. And so there are different ways. If you don't have all the tools I have, there are different ways you can get at that. One thing, you could just find something like a hard surface, even sitting on sometimes like a chair or like a bed where there's a headboard, and you can lay in that area into the headboard. Or if you happen to have yoga tune-up balls or a couple of balls that are maybe around the size of a tennis ball or a little smaller, you can put them in a bag and cinch, or in a sock, and cinch it so that you have 2 balls tightly next to each other. And then what you can do is lay down and just work right through here. You can also just rub through here with your fingers. Just be careful that you're keeping your shoulders relaxed. And then the last thing I want to show you is just to work along the cervical spine here. It does really help to have a couple of balls in something like a bag or a sock. And this one you're going to want to lay down, and you're going to work right along either side of the spine, the cervical spine, so your neck bones. And what you're going to do is put those 2 balls there. I like to start at the base of the neck, down by the shoulders, and move up. And I'm just using my feet to kind of push me back and forth. It's not very much distance because it's just your neck. And then another thing that can be really helpful along here, if it feels like something's a little out of alignment in your neck bones, is to kind of turn your head or lean your neck bones into one ball
So I'm leading the right side of my neck bones into the ball. Or if it's your left side that feels like things are pulling, you might want to almost just push on the bones. And in that, you're also pushing into the soft tissue and breathing and letting things release. So that is a little bit 5 things you can do for headaches. I have another video here about shoulders and upper back and chest tension, which is often travels together with headaches. So you can also check that out. Thanks.